UFC 318. How we doing, everybody? My name is Young Pasty, and I am here today to give you a pick and a prediction for every single fight on the card. Look, guys, UFC 318, we got tons of great fights. Dustin's Last Dance, Pitbull and Dan Ige, my boy Vinicius Oliveira fighting again. Good 185 fight with Marvin, Vettori, Brendan Allen. Some good fights on the prelims, too. That Bruno Ferreira Moose fight, okay? Low-key loving that. And then Adam Fugitt, Dulatov. Like, look, UFC 318, we got 14 fights. Hopefully all of them stay. And I'm super excited to break down every single one. Now, as we always do, I have to recap last week, okay? UFC Nashville. Pulling the results up here right now. We went 9-3 on the picks. Not too bad, okay? Some highlights from last week, guys. Derek Lewis, okay, the Black Beast coming through for us once again. Steve Garcia, I mean, that was my most confident pick of the week, really. Yeah, definitely showed why. I pick-flipped from Austin Lane to Vitor Prachnio after I saw the weigh-ins and saw how big Prachnio was. I mean, dang. And look, let's all hail the heel hook king, Walter Walker. 3 heel hooks in a row. That is crazy. Yeah, you know, overall, this was an exciting card. Lots of finishes, lots of jaw-dropping moments. It was super fun to watch. So 9-3 on the picks. Overall for the year, 172 and 100. So, hey, 9-3, not too bad. Let's move the good momentum into this week here for UFC 318. Let's get it going, guys. The main event for the UFC BMF title, Max Blessed Holloway versus Dustin Diamond Poirier. Odds on the fight. Max Holloway is sitting at minus 125. Dustin Poirier is sitting at plus 105. My pick for this fight is going to be Dustin Poirier. Give me diamond, okay? Shine bright like a diamond. I know they all say there's no happy endings in the UFC, but we're going to have one here tonight in his hometown, walking out with Lil Wayne, okay? Like, it'll be really bittersweet to see Max Holloway win, because I like Max Holloway, but man, you know, Dustin Poirier, I just think he has better grappling, better wrestling, solid power. He's beat Max twice, okay? He's a dog. He's tough. He's been in wars. I think, honestly, he's faced a little bit better competition than Max. But I give Max Holloway credit, right? This dude, great boxing, great footwork, amazing cardio, amazing volume. I mean, he's also tough, vet as well. But he really doesn't pose any sort of wrestling or grappling threat at all. Dustin Poirier does. He has multiple subs in his career. He subbed Max Holloway in the past. But Max Holloway has some pretty good takedown defense. You know, when it comes to, you know, the power edge, I'm definitely going to side with Dustin Poirier. He definitely has a lot more power in his hands than Max Holloway does. But Max Holloway, you know, you keep pounding away at somebody's face, you know, they're eventually going to drop. You know what I mean? I love Max Holloway's volume, but I think Dustin Poirier has more ways to win. He has more momentum. He's going out. This is his last retirement fight. He's going to want to put it all out there, fighting for the BMF title. You know what I mean? He's already beaten Max twice, so he knows. I mean, this is the third fight they're fighting. Like, I understand why. You know what I mean? It's a good out, you know? Fighting Max Holloway, win or lose. You know, it's a good out, you know what I mean? So, but I like Dustin Poirier's movement better compared to Max Holloway. His distance management is nice. Like, he's not going to sit there and stand in the pocket with Max Holloway. He's smarter than that. So, yeah, Dustin Poirier. And I got him by decision. This fight's probably going to go all 5 rounds. It's the BMF title for a reason. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, going to be a great fight. Going to be a great fight. Going to be a great way for Dustin Poirier to end his career. And I just hope he just, you know, no one wants to see either of these guys get knocked out. So that's why I say by decision. But yeah, Dustin, Diamond, Poirier, by decision. That is my official call. We move on to our co-main event. We got Paulo Costa versus Roman Kopylov. odds on the fight, we have plus 225 for Paulo Costa and minus 275 for Roman Kopylov. Yeah, my pick for this fight is going to be Roman Kopylov. Like, honestly, it's a mega fade on Paulo Costa because I'm not really a fan of what he's done lately. You know, like what has he shown me in his last few fights that are going to make me want to pick him here against a Roman Kopylov who has nasty power, good movement, good footwork, really great kicks, solid striking, and can mix in the wrestling too. We saw it with Cesar Almeida, right? Like, so he has that he could utilize, and you know, mixing feints, and man, he's just, when he hits you, you hear it. You know what I mean? He has those nasty like impacts against people, and you know, he went through all 3 rounds with Chris Curtis. I don't think that was a knockout at the end. Yes, he knocked him down, but I don't think it was a knockout. Chris Curtis was all there getting. No, that was a bad stoppage. But anyway, yes, Paulo Costa has gone against way better competition than Roman Kopylov, but I believe this is a good step up for him. I know Paulo Costa, you know, last fight was against Sean Strickland. Was it close? No. Split decision. Don't even look at that. I mean, Sean beat him the hell up for all 5 rounds. But he's lost 4 of his last 5. I mean, he's somehow still ranked, which I don't understand. I mean, older, 1 year layoff. He's been super inactive. Potential weight cutting issues here that I'm probably going to anticipate. So check the weigh-ins on this too. Super hittable. I really have no reason to back Paulo Costa here. So Roman Kopylov is the pick, and I got him by 3rd round KO. Let's go. Roman Kopylov by KO. He's going to find Paulo Costa's chin late in the 3rd round and take him out. Paulo Costa's going to give up at that point after being super tired. I mean, yes, he has a pretty decent chin, but Kopylov got some nasty power. Leg kick to the face. So leg kick to the head, same thing. You know what I mean? So Kopylov by KO. That is my official call for the co-main event. And we move on to the featured fight on the main card. We have Kevin Holland, Trailblazer, versus Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod. Odds on the fight, minus 410 for Kevin Holland. Plus 315 for D-Rod. My pick for this fight is going to be Kevin Holland. I am going to pick him on this fight, but dang, those odds are crazy. Like, minus 410 for Kevin Holland. That's where we're at with things right now. All right, well, the breakdown. Now, when I first saw this fight book, instantly picked Kevin Holland because he's longer, quicker, younger, faster. He can mix in the wrestling, and D-Rod's takedown defense and get-up game is awful. So if Kevin Holland chooses, I think he can get takedowns at ease and at will and hold him down pretty easy. Honestly, my official call here is Kevin Holland by sub. I think he's going to use the striking and then, you know, come in with a surprise kind of takedown from somewhere, put D-Rod on the ground and get some sort of submission, probably an arm bar or an arm triangle. That's what I'm anticipating here. And this is going to be a striking fight if Kevin Holland doesn't mix the wrestling in, because D-Rod's not going to. He's more of like a boxer, you know what I mean? No offensive grappling at all. He's all striking based. And yeah, his last win looked nice against Santiago, but I mean, that's an old Santiago, you know what I mean? You're going up against a younger Kevin Holland, an active Kevin Holland, who quite honestly has looked okay in his last few fights. So I'm all right backing him here. Again, when I saw this fight, I instantly picked Kevin Holland. There's no way I'm picking D-Rod here. Kevin Holland is way quicker. Like, D-Rod is not going to know what's going to come at his way. Like, yeah, he'll land strikes on Holland, but Kevin Holland is a pretty decent boxer too and has some pretty nice head movements. So, yeah, Kevin Holland by sub is my official call here. Moving on. Next fight on the main card. And dang, this is going to be a little scrap we got here. I'm excited for this one, actually. So, Dan 50K Ige versus Patricio Pitbull. Odds on the fight, minus 180 for Dan Ige. Plus 150 for Patricio Pitbull. My pick for this fight is Dan Ige. I fell a victim to my own words of advice, and I'm not going to go against it, okay? UFC fighters and competition is much better than Bellator. Okay, and I respect what they've done in the fighting game, right? But the UFC is another level. Dan Ige is a UFC vet. Patricio Pitbull is a good fighter. And quite honestly, this should have been his UFC debut, right? But I think he's outmatched here. Dan Ige is a tough, respected vet. Put on some great fights in his career. Solid striking with good power, really good volume, nice takedown defense. So, I mean, yeah, Patricio Pitbull does like to mix that in every now and then, but I don't see it happening. I mean, Dan Ige is constantly in your face, pressuring. He's always there. He, honestly, himself has wrestling too, and grappling that he can mix in, but usually doesn't do it. He's good on the fence, but yeah, I mean, he's Patricio Pitbull. I respect him getting in the cage. You know, the quick turnaround time here, but he's tough, but he's older. Yes, he has the cardio to go, 5 rounds. He's been there before, but this is like he's a slow starter, right? You can't be having that here in the UFC. You can't be dropping minutes and rounds because you can't rely on the finish against these people that you're going up against, right? Yes, he has decent power. Yes, he can sub people and has submissions that that are game, but against Dan Ige, I don't think they are game. Like, Pitbull needs more volume, right? He needs to be the one pressuring, but I'm not going to back him here, okay? UFC over Bellator. Not going against my words of advice. So we're gonna see it here again. Dan Ige, we got him by decision. So that's my official call. Let's keep things rolling here, guys. Still in the main card, this one is to open things up. We have Michael the Menace Johnson. Yeah, he's still fighting here, guys. Versus Daniel Golden Boy Zellhuber. Odds on the fight plus 400 for Michael Johnson and minus 575 for Daniel Zellhuber. My pick for this fight. I'm going with Michael Johnson here, guys. I'm going with Michael Johnson. Yeah, I'm going with the 39-year-old here. And you may think, why? Why, Pasty? Why are you doing this? I know Daniel Zellhuber is tough. He's younger. And you know these Mexicans, right? Got a great chin. Hell of a chin. But this Daniel Zellhuber is so damn hittable. And Michael Johnson, even at 39, I mean, he's actually pretty dang good. He still has some power in his hands. Cardio's still there. Good counters, good striking. Honestly, he's mostly a striker. Can mix in wrestling. Like he can. He has the ability to. Does he like to? No. But if he needs to, he will. It's just he's older at this point, and he admitted it himself that wrestling and grappling really tires him out. So he's not really trying to implement that type of style or game, but if he needs to, he will, right? So mostly a striker here. And yeah, Zellhuber is going to be taller and longer. I understand that. He's probably got a little more power, and he's got a good jab. Nice straight shots, to be honest with you. But Michael Johnson's very smart. He's been there, done that. Good fighter IQ. He's defensively sound. Zellhuber has some kind of suspect losses here, guys. Like to Trey Ogden. I know that's almost 3 years ago, but... And then most recently to Esteban Ribovics, like, watch these fights, guys. Like, he is getting hit. And not just his losses, his wins, too. Like, he is hittable as hell. That's my problem. That's really why I'm picking Michael Johnson, because I think he can capitalize on the amount of punches that Zellhuber allows his opponents to get in, So, Zellhuber's wins aren't that good. Like, Lando Venata, who's that? Cristo Giagos, garbage. Francisco Prado, like, that's okay, but, like, dude was, like, extremely taller and had the huge reach advantage over him. Like, it was very apparent, you know what I mean? So that's how he won that. And Prado's not really good with people at range. We'll actually move on, break his fight down later on. Anyway, I think Daniel Zellhuber needs, some more learning moments and a little more experience here in the octagon to come out with a win versus Michael Johnson. So I know he's a big underdog, but I think he can land the better shots. I think that he can kind of set Zellhuber back and make him a little more gun shy with the amount of shots and power that he presents. Yeah, man, I think Michael Johnson is game and live to win this fight, guys. So Michael Johnson by decision. That is my official call. Let's move it on down. This is our featured prelim fight of the night, guys. If you haven't, I'm on the road to 300 subscribers. If you could, click that subscribe button. Your support will go a long way. And my Patreon's free, links in the description. That's where I put all my bets when I place them. Bets video comes out Wednesday, but I don't place my bets on Wednesday. I usually put them in before that, so you can see all my bets when I place them. Again, it's free on the Patreon. But yeah, back to the fight here, guys. Kyler Phillips, the Matrix, versus Vinicius Oliveira, Lock Dog. Odds on the fight, minus 180 for a Lock Dog and plus 155 for Kyler Phillips. Yeah, my pick for this fight is going to be Vinicius Oliveira. And I've counted this guy out before, even though I like him a lot. And look, I'm done doing it, okay? I'm going to back this guy until he goes up against a person that, you know, is elite, right? Kyler Phillips, I don't think he's there. Nevertheless, my point is I'm done counting Oliveira out. I'm picking him in this fight. He has good wins in the UFC. And honestly, you could say this is a step up in competition, but it's a lot honestly, it's kind of lateral. He's beaten some really good people here in the past. Listen to these wins, guys. Said Nurmagomedov. He beat an OV that's, you know, coached by Khabib. Ricky Simone. Bernardo Sopaj. Like, his wins are impressive, man. And he's 22-3. He has lots of MMA fights compared to Kyler Phillips, 12-3. Coming off a loss against Rob Font. In my head, I'm like, who would win, Rob Font or Vinicius Oliveira? Probably fucking Vinicius Oliveira, right? And Kyler Phillips' wins aren't really that good. Pedro Munoz, Marcelo Rojo, Raoni Barcelos, and I will say that was a pretty dang close fight. He just kind of like edged it out just a little bit in all the rounds. So, okay, solid win to you there, but barely. You know what I mean? Like, barely. Yeah, Oliveira's not, you know, barely winning these fights. KOing Sopaj. Completely dominating Ricky Simone. Dominating Said Nurmagomedov. Like, Vinicius Oliveira is damn good. He's a tough, powerful striker. He's got just this dog mentality. Dog advantage, in my opinion. Like, he's got way more dog in him than Kyler Phillips does, right? Constantly moving forward, switching stances. Good takedown defense. If he does get taken down, he can get back up, too. We've seen it. With Sopaj, too, who's a pretty dang good wrestler, right? Lots of feints. What I don't like is the low hands, but that's just his style, right? And let me give Kyler Phillips his flowers, too, because he's a dang good fighter, right? Hands up high. Bouncy side-to-side movement. Throws out this constant feeler jab. In and out with shots. Like, he's a decent striker. Good scrambles on the mat. But some red flags, right? Cardio fades in later rounds. He deters the grappling when he gets hit with power shots, and that may or may not work out with you with Vinicius Oliveira. And even if you do get able to take him down, Oliveira's gonna get back up. Not just gonna sit there on the ground with you. And I praise his bouncy side to side movement, but even with that movement, he still lets people close the distance and find shots on him. So I think Vinicius Oliveira lands the better shots in the fight. I think the wrestling and the grappling from Kyler Phillips can be avoided with Oliveira's great takedown defense. I got Vinicius Oliveira, and I got him by decision. This is my dude. Lock Dog, okay? He's got it in his name. Woo woo. So, I love my Brazilians, guys. Vinicius Oliveira by decision is my official call. There's so many dang fights on here, guys. So many dang fights. So many good ones, too. Let me take a sip of the Celsius. All right, next fight. Good fight, too, guys. These guys are going to put on a good performance for us. We have Marvin Vettori, the Italian Dream, Italiano, versus Brendan All-In Allen. Odds on the fight here, we have plus 185 for Marvin Vettori, minus 230 for Brendan Allen. My pick for this fight is going to be Brendan Allen. Yeah. I mean, he obviously has a much better wrestling and grappling base than Vettori. I think he's going to be able to take Marvin Vettori down and hold him there for a while. The subs are always live with Brendan Allen, too. So, I mean, that's not out of the question, right? If you told me after the fight, Brendan Allen got a sub over Vettori, like, I wouldn't be surprised because Brendan Allen's got some pretty dang good jiu-jitsu. So the subs are always live. Top control is pretty dang good when it gets people down. Takedowns are nice too. And he rolls with position, right? And I think if Vettori is taken down, like he'll just kind of accept position and hold himself there. Try to minimize damage till the next round. Like his get-up game, he's not really going up against these high-level grapplers or, elite wrestlers here, at least in the recent past, right? Like, look, Roman Dolidze, he's not an elite grappler wrestler, but he can mix it in. And that fight was mostly standing. Jared Cannonier, same thing. Robert Whitaker, like Paulo Costa, these guys aren't they don't have the wrestling and the grappling edge that Brendan Allen has right here. And Brendan Allen, low-key, his striking has been improving recently, right? So, but honestly, he really relies on takedowns, top control, and winning minutes that way. His gas tank is, meh. Gasses himself out a lot with the wrestling, but honestly, Vettori's gas tank probably much better than Brendan Allen's. And I don't like that he pulls guard. I hate fucking people that pull guard. Like, shit pisses me off. But he's good in the clinch, and I like his footwork. Marvin Vettori, dude's just straight up striker, pressuring, moving forward the whole time. Now, he needs a little more volume. I don't like the volume he's putting down. He's very hesitant at first. Stands low, knees bent, likes the body punches and the uppercuts. Has nice kicks, too. But he just doesn't put out as much volume as I would like. Moves and plots forwards, and generally just a striker. He doesn't really have any offensive wrestling or grappling. And honestly, he's just had some bad momentum lately. And honestly, now he's fighting at the highest level, but you're kind of declining here at the highest level, in my opinion. So, a couple years, older than Brendan Allen. Not the age difference really isn't too much. Guys are basically the same size. So, I got Brendan Allen. Ooh. I got him by a close decision. Honestly, I think he wins round 1 and round 2, but drops round 3 against Marvin Vettori. So, all right, moving on. Next fight, we have Francisco Prado versus Nikolay Veretennikov. Odds on the fight, minus 145 for Francisco Prado, plus 125 for Nikolay Veretennikov. My pick for this fight is going to be Francisco Prado. And, it's not with really too much confidence, to be honest with you. I don't like Nikolay Veretennikov. Not only is he unreliable, but he's a sore loser, right? That last fight, who was it against? Austin Vanderford? Dude was, trying to fight after the fight. I hate when people do that. I just pushes him, gets upset. Dude, you lost. Fair and square. That's just how it was. You got bodied. And he didn't just get bodied by him on the mat. He's been bodied by other people on the mat in the past too, right? Yes, he has decent power in the hands, okay striking, okay kicks, has a nice little 1-2, that's okay. He doesn't really have too many combos or anything, that stands out to me, nothing spectacular, right? He's really more of a headhunter. And low volume, cardio's all right? But he, gets hit with counters super easy, overextends himself a lot, and the age and the experience in the octagon might give him an edge here, but I'm gonna go with the young cat, Francisco Prado, 23 years old, tough little dude, short guy, and honestly struggles with people who are very long and have the reach advantage over him, and have good distance management skills. He just can't figure out how to close distance without getting pieced the hell up. So, but on the flip side, has some pretty nasty power. Good little overhand because he's shorter, you know what I mean? But I think this fight goes all 3 rounds or a late stoppage on the Prado side. So, what am I going to roll with? I'm going to say Prado KO. I think he finds him in the late second, late third. Again, I just, Veretennikov, unreliable, sore loser. I cannot back a guy like that, right? So Francisco Prado by KO is the pick. And we're moving on to our next fight. We have Ateba Gautier, the silent assassin, versus Robert Valentin. Robzilla. Fucking lame ass name. Nickname. Odds in the fight, minus 550 for Ateba. Whoa. Plus 420 for Robert Valentin. My pick for this fight is going to be Ateba Gautier. Now, I will say, dude really needs to not get taken down. Because if he gets taken down, that's his downfall. That's his kryptonite, right? Honestly, in his Dana White Contender Series fight, this Naoto guy was able to take him down and hold him there for long periods of time within the round. So honestly, probably won the first round. His grappling and his wrestling is very raw, right? But on the flip side, dude is a hard-ass hitter. He is muscular as shit. Primarily a striker, obviously. He's a KO artist, right? Got that KO power in his hands. Usually the one pressuring. But he's shown in the later rounds there, he's got good sprawls and okay takedown defense if people gas out. So it's not like he's just getting subbed up real quick on the mat, right? But again, Robert Valentin kind of swift and kind of sneaky with the subs, right? That's always a possibility. I mean, he's got decent hands, right? Better hands than Torres Finney, but is that anything to brag about? You know what I mean? Right? He can close distance and secure body locks. He's got decent takedowns. And yeah, he hunts for the subs when he's in top position, can get a takedown. So if Ateba gets taken down, you really got to watch himself. But I saw the sprawls he was doing. The takedown defense was kind of improving. So I'm going to have to side with Ateba Gautier. I got him by KO, obviously. Valentin's about to get his lights knocked out. This Ateba Gautier power is something different. Like standing KO versus Jose Medina, and Jose Medina can take a punch. You know what I mean? First guy to knock out Medina in the UFC. So yeah, I got Gautier, and I got him by KO. Plain and simple. But I wouldn't call you crazy if Robert Valentin got the sub, or if that's what you're on, or sub/decision. That's a nice little prop. Might consider depending on the odds, you know what I mean? So Ateba Gautier, KO, my official call. Let's keep it rolling. Next fight on the prelims. Adam Fugitt versus Islam Dulatov, the Ripper. Odds on the fight, plus 430 for Adam Fugitt, minus 625 for Islam Dulatov. Yeah, my pick for the fight is going to be Islam Dulatov. Oh boy, this dude's a killer, man. The Ripper for a reason. I don't think he's been out of the first round in his whole career, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like I said, this dude is a killer, man. 5 KOs, 5 subs, and he's not fighting bums on the way up. He's fighting some pretty good competition. Good knees in the clinch, good flying knees. His elbows and forearms are nasty as hell, dude. Uses this kind of like part like right there, the forearm. Oh my god. Like, man, those elbows and forearms hurt when he uses them. Now, he's not like the most technically pretty striker, you know what I mean? He comes in with power. He's quick and he's fast and he's got deadly combos, and yeah, sometimes he swings wild, but he's on the forward, he's on the move, pressuring 24/7. Cardio, I don't know how his cardio's gonna hold up. His fights are all finishes, but I anticipate him finishing Fugitt. And people will say, "Oh, well, Fugitt was tough. He lasted all 3 rounds." And Michael Morales, right? Like, Michael Morales didn't come at him like a wild man looking for a finish instantly in the first round. Like, this is what that Islam Dulatov's gonna do. Right when that octagon bell starts and rings, he's gonna come out there and try and kill you, right? Adam Fugitt is on this little streak. Loss, win, loss, win. What's next, right? A loss. Yes, he has more UFC experience, but his wins suck. And it's like, well, his L's, Michael Morales, like, can you let them slide? I mean, sort of, kind of. I mean, he still kind of lost and looked like crap in all the fights, right? Easily put on the back foot. His kicks are pretty decent. Throws a lot of kicks. That's what he kind of uses as a jab, right? With a little distance management with that, but Islam Dulatov ain't gonna give a fuck about a kick. He'll eat the kick and come moving forward, right? So Fugitt has low hands, don't like it. Yes, he can eat a shot, but Dulatov can take advantage of that. And his striking is just like basic, right? Has grappling that he tries to use, really, that has gotten a takedown here and there, but didn't do too much with it, right? I think Dulatov, the German prospect, is gonna get a highlight reel KO here. So Dulatov by KO. That is my official call. Let's keep this train rolling, guys. I'm having fun here. Next fight, we have Jimmy Crute, the Brute, versus Marcin Prachnio. Odds on the fight, minus 250 for Jimmy Crute and plus 210 for Marcin Prachnio. My pick for the fight's going to be Jimmy Crute. And yeah, if you look at him on paper in his last 5 fights, it's not looking too pretty. Like 3 losses and 2 draws. You don't really see almost back-to-back draws here in your career, right? But Marcin Prachnio is older and not really that good, honestly, in my opinion. I know Jimmy Crute's coming back from his little retirement stint, but he has the wrestling and the grappling advantage, and Marcin Prachnio literally has no answer for getting taken down whatsoever. So that's why I have to roll with my boy Jimmy Crute, the Brute here. And his striking's okay. It's all right. It's nothing to brag about. Thick, big guy. And honestly, the wrestling and the grappling is going to win him this fight. If it's a striking match, I think it's going to actually be a pretty close fight if Marcin Prachnio is able to fend off these takedowns, but I just don't see that, right? Jimmy Crute, great top control when he does get the takedowns. Honestly, he's probably going to submit Marcin Prachnio. Dude, Prachnio was getting worked by fucking Modestus Bukauskas. You know what I mean? Got taken down with ease. And yes, he has, a little power in his hands here and there. But hittable, chinny, stupid and wild. Fighter IQ is bad. He has okay striking, solid kicks, pretty decent on the fence, but I'm calling him Marcin Prachnio, all right? Because he's about to get fucking cracked somewhere. Bone cracked from a submission, face cracked from a punch, something, dude. Jimmy Crute is going to take him out. I think it's by submission. He's going to take him down with ease, dude. That's just how I see this fight going. I mean, Jimmy Crute really much younger too. So he's got, I would anticipate probably a better gas tank than Prachnio guys. But you never know. These old guys got that pretty good cardio. I don't see it in Prachnio though. But yeah, Jimmy Crute by submission. That is my official call for this fight. That thick bigness is going to be able to take him down with ease. Hold him there. Probably secure an arm triangle. Rear naked choke. If he takes the back, something like that. Jimmy Crute's the official pick by submission. Let's go. Moving on. Not really excited for this fight, but it's on here. We have Ryan Superman Spann versus Łukasz the Bull Brzeski. Odds on the fight, we got, minus 230 for Ryan Spann, plus 190 for Brzeski. My pick for the fight's Ryan Spann. This one's not with too much confidence either. His last fight, he got worked by Waldo. He's still up here at heavyweight, trying things out at heavyweight. He's really kind of a first rounder bust. Kind of almost reminded me of Terrence McKinney here. Usually, right? Gonna have the quicker hands. He's faster. He's the better striker. He's a better wrestler. It's like you should win this fight, Ryan Spann. You should. But when you should win the fight, you usually end up losing. So, again, we'll try and see how his abilities stack up here at heavyweight. Will the power relate? Will the wrestling and takedowns come with ease? He's another thing to check weigh-ins, right? If Ryan Spann comes in like 220, Brzeski's coming in at like a 265, got a 40-pound weight difference. That's pretty big difference, you know what I mean? But there's no way in hell I can back Brzeski, guys. This dude is trash. Bad wins, even worse losses. Striking's not really that good. Bad wrestling and grappling, awful get-up game, bad takedown defense, is chinny as hell. A little chubby too. I can't back Łukasz Brzeski. I can't. So this might just be like a stay away for me. But I got Ryan Spann, and I got him, Ryan Spann by decision, I guess. Ryan Spann by decision. Yeah, not super confident. Not the fight I'm really looking forward to. That's why it's on the early prelims, and they're literally feeding Ryan Spann the worst heavyweight in the division. If you can't beat him, then you might need to go back down to light heavyweight. See if things can work there better for you, because this guy's not that good. 9-6, bro. So. Anyway, let's move on. Next fight here. And this one I'm actually excited about. We got 2 first-round killers here, guys. We got Brunno the Hulk Ferreira versus Jackson the Moose McVeigh. Odds on the fight, minus 645 for Brunno Ferreira, plus 450 for Jackson McVeigh. My pick for this fight. Give me the Moose. Yeah, give me another big underdog here. Why do I pick Jackson McVeigh? Honestly, I just got a feeling about him. I like this guy. He's never been out of the first round. He's much bigger than Brunno Ferreira. Brunno Ferreira's kind of had problems with people that are taller with him. All of his losses, right? Rustam Ruzaboyev, much taller and bigger than him. Abus Magomedov, much taller and bigger with him. You know what I mean? Was having kind of trouble with Armin Petrosian at times until he got a submission. The problem is with the Moose, he's very inexperienced. Dude is 6-0, right? But I will say this. He is an aggressive motherfucker. He's a power puncher. Constant pressure. He's definitely going to be moving Brunno Ferreira back. But I can definitely see Brunno Ferreira catching him with a counter shot or something like that. He's definitely like the more like technically prettier striker. You know what I mean? Jackson McVeigh is just like coming at you, super explosive and aggressive as hell. Like, he's going to be much bigger, and yes, he can make weight because we saw it in the last fight. Not in the last fight, but he weighed in to get his show money because the other dude couldn't weigh in at all, right? But let's not forget, guys, 2025. If you're undefeated in 2025, usually you are taking that L. So just something to consider, but I got a feeling about the Moose. I like him. I'm going to give him a chance. Everybody's going to be counting him out. He's an LFA guy. You're not really fighting the best competition per se, right? Almost kind of gives me Jonathan McAuliffe vibes, if you guys know him, right? Never been out of the first round. Never. Talish and Teixeira-esque. You know what I mean? But Brunno Ferreira on the other side, like, this dude's nothing to mess with. He's a shorty with extreme power. Uppercuts deadly. Overhands deadly. Also, low-key, has some nice subs that he's used in the past and has in his back pocket. Moves around the octagon nice. Switches stances. I will admit, though, his cardio out of the first round is not really the best. Has way more UFC experience than Jackson McVeigh. It is kind of a long shot call to pick the Moose, but look, I'm going to give him a chance, right? Nobody's going to be on the Moose's side. I'm going to roll with Jackson McVeigh. One thing I can count on, though, is the under 1.5, okay? So if you're a betting kind of person, maybe look at the under 1.5. I think it's setting at like minus 300, so definitely a little parlay piece, right? But that's probably like my most confident call of this whole card is the under 1.5 on this fight. I might even go under 0.5 for some big plus money. So, or fight to just end in round 1. Some things to look at. But maybe Brunno Ferreira or Jackson McVeigh take it a little bit into the second round, something like that. But the under 1.5, something to definitely look at. Fight to not go to the distance is a really almost solid lock. So, we got the Moose, and I'm going to take him by KO. I don't think he's going to sub up Brunno Ferreira. I think he's got to catch him with something. Everyone's going to be counting my boy out, right? But when he comes through with the upset win, come back at me, okay? Jackson McVeigh by KO. That's my official call. We're moving on. This is the first fight of the night. Women going at it. We have Carly Crispy Giudice versus Nicole Cagliari. Odds on the fight, minus 260 for Carly Giudice and plus 215 for Nicole Cagliari. Yeah, my pick for this fight is going to actually be the underdog, Nicole Cagliari. I'm surprised to see that these odds are this wide, to be honest with you. Minus 260 for Carly Giudice. Your one sole win over Eunice Dubin, who is just a pretty girl, and that was it. Had no real UFC experience. Knocked her out with an egg kick in the first round. Now, she has had a little tougher run in the UFC. A split loss over Gabriela Fernandez. Split loss over Ernesta Karakaiti. Also, Ernesta beat both of these girls. Okay? Here recently. Right? 6 months ago for Nicole. A year and 9 months ago for Carly Giudice. But they showed some, signs of, life, right? Some good fighter abilities and techniques in those fights, and they showed heart, right? And Carly Giudice is a tough girl, right? Now, even though she's super hittable, she's tough. And I like her style. She's super aggressive. But one thing I don't like, she can get taken down pretty easy. My girl Nicole Cagliari is from Brazil. You know she's got that Brazilian jiu-jitsu in her back pocket. What do you think is going to happen here? I think she's going to be able to take down Carly Giudice and, yeah, hold her there on the ground. Now, she can hold her own on the striking, too. She's a nice little scrapper, right? Has those nice hooks, kind of like a brawling kind of striker style. Like, she can throw decently hard, but her takedowns, Cagliari's takedowns are nice. Got some nice judos and trips. Probably can mix in a double leg. Can get things off the fence pretty easy. I just anticipate takedowns early on. It's just, how will Carly Giudice hold up? Will she be able to get up? Will she be able to, have the cardio to go round 2, round 3? I don't think she's going to get subbed up, even though that is actually kind of live on the Cagliari side. And honestly, Cagliari has trouble with distance shots and closing distance herself, and Carly Giudice may be able to piece her up at range because she has pretty nice kicks and okay striking. But Giudice can get held on the fence pretty easy. Cagliari likes to hold people on the fence and does that pretty good. But Giudice never been tested with the grappling, really. Like, most of her fights are striking battles. Like, honestly, herself, she's actually gotten a few takedowns herself. And I love the volume on Carly Giudice's side, but to back her like a minus 200 some favorite, there's no way I could do that. Minus 140, minus 150, maybe we could be talking, right? But you're going to give me a Brazilian who's tough, has some nice power in her shots, has some pretty decent takedowns over a girl that can get taken down pretty easy, hasn't gone up against somebody like this before. So we'll give it a shot. I got Nicole Cagliari, and I got her by submission. That's my official call. So we have ran through all 14 fights on UFC 318. If you have made it this far, thank you so much. Appreciate your support. Let me fix the hat. Look at me, I'm going wild here. Things are falling off because I've loved this card so much. Yeah, I'm super excited to watch this thing. So, yeah, thank you for the support. If you're new around here or if you haven't, click that subscribe button. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. Would appreciate it if you did that for me. Secondly, Patreon's free. Links in the description. That's where you can get all my bets when I place them. Again, bets video drops on Wednesday. Make sure to check that out. Let's have a good week this week for UFC 318. Young Pasty, out.